Would you like to know how to activate your team? Today, I'm just going to walk you through the 12 engagement keys we use to boost your team's productivity and success. Hi, my name's Carrie Ann and I really want to talk to you about the 12 engagement keys that we use here at Engage and Grow. An engagement key is just designed to make your team think or act differently in any given situation. The first key we talk about is collective accountability. We gather the team together and we really want to understand the problems that they're facing, what they think needs fixing. We divide these into the main heart and brain areas of the business. The heart areas are really about how people are feeling about the business, about the communication. The brain is much more about systems and processes. Like the human body, we always need to concentrate on the heart areas first, because without your heart, the brain would just die. Behaviours are the second section that we look at. Behaviours, these underpin the values that you might have in your business. It's much easier for people to be able to work and focus on a behaviour than a value. You can ask somebody how they demonstrated that behaviour today. This has a very powerful effect on your business. The next section we look at is peer reward and recognition. How are you recognising and rewarding your colleagues and your peers at work? How often does that happen? We like to encourage reward and recognition, and really this should be something that's happening on a daily basis. Reward and recognition is the next area we look at. We want to find out what's happening in your business now, how much reward and recognition is really going on, and then we want to step it up a notch. Reward and recognition should be occurring on a daily basis throughout the team on all levels. Presenting best practice is the next area that we look at. We want to look at who does what in your teams. A great way of introducing this is next time you have the team meeting, get somebody else to chair it, take it in turns. This really helps everybody take ownership of the meeting. Next, we're going to look at the growth of individual behaviours. Now, we do this through a feedback system. We ask everybody in the team just to mention one thing that someone is doing great at and one thing that they could perhaps work on or improve for the benefit of the team. We do this in a very controlled, safe environment until people get used to doing it. We all know the value of feedback, but often in our businesses, it doesn't happen on a regular basis. After each employee has received their feedback, we help and encourage them to come up with a plan of action. This plan would detail the actions that they are going to take in direct response to the feedback they have received. This is a great activity in its own, but the power really comes when they share that plan back out to their peers and ask them for help and support. This is when you start to really see those connections happening and changes start to happen within the business. The next section is sharing stories. This is by far one of my favourite sections. We each take it in turns to share a story about something that happened to us from our past, normally a time that was difficult, how we overcome it. It's a really, really great section. You get to find out so much about the rest of your people in your team, really know each other better, and it's amazing how many new connections are made. People suddenly find out that they had something in common with somebody who they didn't even know. The next section we call emerging leaders. So by now your group should be really well connected and very settled. So it's a really, really good time to start introducing new people. It's a really good time to ask them, who are the people in our business who could be promoted? Who are the next leaders? Who are the next managers? They probably have ideas that might be very different to yours. It's not always the people who are naturally in that position. Invite them into the group and start getting them to carry out some of the activities. The next section is the staff and client engagement strategy. Here you either choose to work with the rest of your staff internally or your clients externally. We divide up the people and get everyone to go and see 2 or 3 people and just ask them about how things could be better, what could be improved, and then bring back that information to the group. Once shared within the group can then decide what actions they need to take. This could be a very powerful section because people are always surprised to be asked directly about how they're feeling by somebody they're not expecting it from. Can you imagine if the finance director was to go and directly ask a client how they could serve them better? The client feels amazing and is likely to share much more than they would with their normal client manager. Share the chair is the next section. This is great fun. So we take the meeting and we just hand it over to different members to run it. They can do this together in small groups or individually. It just depends on who you think is ready. Ask them, I'm sure you'll get lots of willing volunteers. So now it's time to start looking a bit more outwards. We talk about brand awareness and social responsibility. Is your company connected with some local charities? Are there youth groups or something that you want to be more involved in? Ask the team who they would like to help, what resonates with them, and then decide collectively as a group who and how you can help best. And now for the last section. It's time for things to get really exciting. We want to unearth creativity and innovation. Now, we might have a few hints and tips, but really this section is about giving people the time and space to come up with great ideas. You might dedicate a blank wall, for example, that people can just go and post their post-it notes up on. And then each week, a team of people can go and collect those ideas together and see which ones are worth working on continuing forward. So those are the main engagement keys we use to help really activate a team and transform a business. I'm sure you might have lots of questions. Please reach out. My details are in the box below. If you want any further information, just ask, here to help.